Well, yesterday we had a heat wave and today it's just starting to rain. I'm in Treorchy. I've come down to buy my food for the week and I thought, seeing as I'm down here, I've got to pop into Too Good to Waste. It feels like a storm is about to break. It is very close, as they say. The pressure is very low. Right, I did buy a few things for future videos that I've got in my head. Do you want to have a look? Let's put them on the Domino's window here and I'll show you. So we've got a basket, which I thought would be good for picking the wimberries when we go up the mountain. And this, do you remember an old kid's story called The Magic Pot, where they made porridge and it just kept coming and coming? Well, I saw this, but I thought that will be very good for doing my cowl. And the weather is so cold at the moment, maybe I'll make cowl in the next few days. That isn't mine. Somebody else has just left it there. But now I'm off to the cafe for a cup of tea. It's Thursday morning. It's quite busy in Treorchy. Yes, the black clouds are coming. It is ever so slightly starting to rain. But seeing as I'm down in Treorchy, I'm going to pop into the butcher's to get a few little slices of ham, maybe for a sandwich later. Oh. Popular day today. Cyril the butcher there is a viewer of the channel, and he said, let me give you a bit of advice about chicken, because he saw the video where I was talking about defrosting a chicken breast, and he said to take it out of the freezer and put it into the fridge and let it defrost slowly overnight. So that is what I will do when I have a chicken breast in the freezer. I'm off down to the industrial estate now because I need to pick up my downpipe that I've bought from Screwfix. I don't know how I'm going to get back because I've got a feeling it might be a bit too much to carry on the bus, but we'll see. We'll give it a go, and if he says no, then I'll just start walking. I've also been down Treorchy to collect my sausage roll. I recently signed up to a Monzo card and you get a free sausage roll once a week. I thought that's a good enough perk for me, so I've just enjoyed it. The rain has stopped. I think it's going to be one of those days today where it doesn't know what season it is. There you go, look, the sun's starting to come out now. So if it does stay fine, I will go to the homestead and put the downpipe up and take the water butt there to try and capture some of the rain that apparently is forecast to come next week. Welcome to the Welsh summer. Look at all these blackberries that will be ready for picking in the autumn. Let's hope this rain holds off for at least 20 minutes for me to get home. When it's sunny, it gets very muggy. There's been a lot of comments on one of the videos earlier this week, and I will link to it below. People complaining about things. Just remember, nobody forces you to watch this channel. You make a choice whether you want to press play or not. So I don't know why, if it annoys you so much or upsets you, why you watch. You have the capacity to make that decision, that if it's painful for you to watch because I might spend a bit too much money or things are a bit slow, it's your decision not to watch it. That's a big van. There's no pavement here. So yes, it's your decision to watch or not. So if you're still watching and it still riles you, then you must accept that you enjoy being made angry and riled up. So don't put the blame on me. Put the blame on yourself. We're only on this planet for a short amount of time. And do you really want to spend it getting riled up by somebody that you don't like? There's the bus. Oh well, I've missed that. Next one is an hour. And I'll be home by the time the next bus comes. That's a metaphor for life, that is. Sometimes we catch the right buses and sometimes we miss them. But don't blame anybody else other than yourself. What do you want people to say as they're standing around your gravestone? He spent too much of his own money. He never knew how to make a good cup of tea. It just makes me laugh. Right, let's go to Screwfix. Well, I think I've done my calculations wrong. I don't think I'll be able to get that on the bus. So I might have to walk all the way home to Treorchy. What do you think? Do you think it's better for me to walk?
You get your steps in. Try and make it as easy as we can for you. Hey, you sure you want me to piggyback these home for you?
Well, I feel quite exhausted, so I've stopped off for a cup of tea and something to eat for my dinner to give me strength to go another mile or two down the road, and then we'll finally be at the homestead. But I'm going to enjoy this and watch the view. That monkey puzzle tree across the road there has been there for over 100 years. It's become a bit of a landmark of the village. And the old story goes that somebody was in the pub one night and they had just been overseas on a ship doing a voyage, and when they went to go and pay for their pint, they found in their pocket there were some random seeds from their trips out across the sea. So they just threw them in the garden, and from that one seed this monkey puzzle grew. They'd been outraged now if they tried to pull that down. I like this cup, I must say. I'll have to find out where he buys them. That's a nice cup to get you started of a morning. Oh, I feel like I've walked for miles. I know how the drovers feel now. Right, the wind is starting to pick up, so I'm probably not going to fix it today. But who knows, I might change my mind and it'll be done in 10 minutes. Right, let's have a sit down and relax. Can't stay too long down here because I've got raw chicken in my bag. All these are the gubbins for the downpipe. I also bought a saw because I work in feet and inches, and I thought I'm going to get it wrong. So this basket, I can't remember if I've told you, so I'm going to tell you again. This basket is for when we go and collect wimberries off the mountain. I want to do it after a shower of rain, so they're nice and juicy. But I'm hearing people in the village are telling me they've already been up there, so I might have to do it sooner than later. And this is a pot. Do you remember the old magic pot? That's for my cow. And that has the chicken in. It's a good job I looked, otherwise I would have thought I'd left it. I put it in there because that's uncooked. I have some cooked bit of ham there outside, so I will take that home. But I'm just going to sit here for a bit. If I had a kettle, I'd have a cup of tea, but I'm just going to sit here and relax. Maybe even have 40 winks. The postman's been. And I've got some post there, which I think are some magnets, but I'll open them on a different day because I'm quite busy today. Because I'm going to have some food and go back down to the land. But I must say, these cameras I've got, these security cameras, are absolutely amazing. As I was walking down the street, a van passed me, and I just had a feeling he's probably got a parcel for me. And I could tap in on my phone and talk to him. And if I hadn't, he would have driven off and taken the parcel with him because it needed to be signed for. So I could say to him, I'm just coming down the road, put the parcel on the door, and then he just drove up by the side of me and I signed it and everybody's happy. But I can't remember what this is, to be honest. But, oh, well, that's a surprise. That is a surprise. Now, pair of gloves. I bought them because I just needed to put the order over a certain amount in order to get free delivery. Right. I have never seen this before. I'm quite shook. Now, am I going to try and get them out? Do you know, I think I'm going to leave them in the box until we get down to the homestead and you can see. But I've never seen this before. So there are 2 roses. The varieties were suggested by somebody on my Instagram. She said you really need to get this variety because it has a beautiful scent. I bought these from, I can't remember now. But look, this is what I'm surprised by. It's actually turned up in flower. Look how beautiful that is. I have never seen any plant turn up with such a perfect bloom on. But there are 2 here. Looks like 2 anyway. But let's wait until we get down there, because if I take them out now, it'll only cause a mess. But first of all, let's have something to eat. Let's be posh and put it into diagonals. And no point to waste another plate. I'll just eat it straight off the wood. Lovely day for doing the washing. I need some new clothes to go out tonight, so I thought let's take advantage of the sun and the wind. I'm going to the theatre tonight to see the Phantom of the Opera, but I'm not going to London. It's a local production. I'm fascinated to see how they're going to do things like drop in the chandelier and things like that. And then on the weekend, I'm giving myself time on the homestead. The house is overrun with things that I've been buying for the garden. This is for the roses to grow up. It's a nice bit of trellis, and I've got the roses to go up it, and the clematis, and I think a pyracantha as well. So that I'm going to have a weekend where I just take things down to the homestead and start setting them up. Also, the perspex for the shed windows have turned up. I'm not going to take them out of the box. I'm going to leave them there until I can just take it down and deal with it on the actual shed. The water butt, that also needs to go down there, along with the two fold-out tables. One is for inside the shed, and the other is to be used outside as a potting bench. I've been running around this morning trying to find a hose pipe, so I had to go down to Screwfix. And again, when did hose pipes become so expensive? This was £55. I did get the one where you can reel it in. I thought, let's get a good one, because this is the last garden I intend to do. Somebody said in the comments the other day, I would like to do my own garden, but I can't afford it after seeing all the stuff that you've bought. Gardening can be as cheap or as expensive as you want to make it. I've had gardens throughout the years. Some gardens I've hardly spent any money on at all whatsoever. But this, I want this to be the last garden that I ever have. So I've pushed the boat out and I've treated myself to a few things. Now, do you remember I was saying to you the other week that the water in Wales, or at least in this area, tastes really chemically. Every few weeks they seem to put the new chemicals in and they taste really blech. So my last big purchase has been a water filter. Now, I've had these ones in the past where you do the jug, and I don't think they're that good. Just personal preference. And I thought I need something to take this metallic taste off. So I saw this one, and then I saw if you went for the next model up, which was £20 difference, you could get one that not only purifies the water, you can press it and hot water comes out. So I thought, in the long run, it might work out a bit cheaper than boiling the kettle. But even if it doesn't work out cheaper, I can always switch that function off and just use the function to filter the water, which is the whole intention of getting it in the first place. So again, how much do you put on your health? That's the way that I look at these things. And we drink water every day, and I don't want to mess around with it. So if this doesn't taste any different, then I'll send the thing back. I'm also making a note of when the water has tasted a bit funny, and I'm putting the complaints in to the water board, because I don't want to pay for something that tastes a bit dodgy. Water shouldn't be tasted chemically. And every time I drink the water and I can taste it, I think of that film, Erin Brockovich, starring Julia Roberts. Which, an interesting little fact, I studied that film as part of my thesis in university. And I even phoned up the actual person, the actual Erin Brockovich. I phoned up her office and did an interview with her. And back in those days, you had to send a fax through. Now, why is there two plugs? Maybe one is for America, is it? Alright, that's good, because I've only got one plug hole left spare in the kitchen. So, right. So how do you do this then? So if I move my fruit and my veg back over to this side, the radio then can go on the side, and then the filter can go in this corner, which is then close to the plug. So I think that works. There you go. Do you like to do things like this? Oh yes, look at that. Oh. So I've given everything a wash and I've switched it on the wall. So is it this button? Oh. It's like a spaceship. Instinct I'm going to go by now. So you can change this to the milliliters of the water that you want. So I'm going to, let's just put it on to 200 rather than it flowing all over the place. Well, that's the hot water part, and this is the cold water bit. So if you want cold, put it down to cold. And then nothing happens. Let's make a cup of tea while we wait. I haven't got long because I need to get dressed. Well, I need to have a shower first, then get dressed. I wanted to get off to this show. Yes, it looks a bit like a builder's yard in this room at the moment. I'll be pleased by the end of the weekend to get it back to normal. I think the cats will as well. They're spending a lot of time upstairs, and they only really come downstairs for the toilet and for food. Ah, now that's turned red. Maybe this is water. I'm going to have to find out what temperature you need to set it at for tea. But this might be handy to pre-boil the water in the for when I do peas and things. And it double beeps at the end. Oh, I hope that's not going to overflow. Right, let me just change that down to chilled, because that's what I'll be needing for the majority of the time. And let us go over here. Now, how am I going to test if this is hot, other than putting my finger in it? Oh yes, it is. Lukewarm. Okay, let's throw that out, and let's try that again on some chilled water. Oh, isn't this fun? You don't get this on most channels. Here we go. So I wondered, you leave this on, you must leave this on all the time then, rather than just switching it on and off when you want it. Right, maybe I just need to let it sit for a while in order to settle it itself. I'll get to grips with it in a few days' time, no doubt. Oh, there we go. It's like being back in the office, isn't it? What was that then? Did you see that? Something popped up. That goes off so quick, I don't know what it says. Anyway, let's taste this. Certainly tastes smoother. What I'm going to have to do now, which is ironic, I'm going to have to wait until I can taste the chemical in the main tap and then put it through there, and that will be the real test. I've also had some post in, and I think they're magnets, but we'll keep that for another video. Right, I need to go and have a shower, and I don't think you want to see that, do you? Maybe that should be on an OnlyFans page. Anyway, I'm going to have a bath, and then I'm going to pop out to the theatre. So I'll catch up with you next time. So from me until then, bye for now.